Welcome back! So today we are building in this teeny tiny apartment in Eco Living, which makes me very excited. I love that there are new apartments in this world. I mean, is it new anymore? I don't even know. I mean, it's the newest, so I think I can still call it new. But I love that there are apartments. I love that they're little apartments. We make this one from a one bedroom into a two bedroom, and it's not a big space to begin with. Like, it's not like it clearly needed to be made into a two bedroom like some of the other apartments, like in city living and stuff. But we do make it into a very cramped two bedroom, which I like. I feel like that's a little bit realistic. Not everybody, but I feel like a lot of people who have lived in apartments have lived in teeny tiny apartments, and I feel like it works. So we make it into a two bedroom. I imagine that there are two adult Sims living here. Maybe like a grandma and a granddaughter. That's what I think I'm gonna put in here. How many times can I say Oh my god. Sheesh. Okay, so that's what I think I'm gonna put in here in my perfect save. But here we are working on the teeny tiny kitchen, and I like it so much. I had started watching Schitt's Creek while I was watching this, so now that's like what I associate this apartment with, but it has nothing to do with that show. That's just what I was watching while I made it. I put a microwave in here because right now I put microwaves in all my builds. And we kind of clutter this space up a little bit. Like it's definitely not a cluttered build, but it's cluttered for my perfect save because I try to make these a little bit on the simpler side. Just as far as like, being able to run on people's computers and all that good stuff. Because I would like to think that maybe someday somebody other than me will play in this save. Like that's kind of the ultimate goal here. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So we end up with a tiny kitchen, a tiny dining space, a little like walk-through living room space, and then two like pretty okay sized bedrooms. One of the bedrooms is real big, and like I mean not big, but like it's big. Um, Big enough that you could probably put like a little ensuite in it. Like maybe you could do like either one of those like 3x1 bathrooms or like a little 2x2 and just do like the university shower and all that good stuff. Over like where end up putting the dresser. I'll point it out when we're in there. But I did use some stuff from the debug menu, just like the chairs that are like the fabricated chairs in the wood tone. I'm trying to think what else I used from the debug menu. Oh, the TV. I end up using one of the debug TVs that you can find in a dumpster in this world. So I did really want to have this hanging shelf for a while, but I just like couldn't make it happen. I mean, like I could have done this, but it made the lighting all weird with the half wall, and I wasn't about it. I couldn't wrap my head around that decision. So, because I did want it to be a little shelf for a while, we end up using like a little buffet table. I think the one that actually came with Eco Living. I actually I like end up going back and like switching some of the wood tones, but I actually do kind of like the mixed wood tones in this apartment. Um, I think it kind of works. So this is what I was talking about with the walk-through living room. Like it's kind of a hallway, but it's wide enough that we make it into like a little TV sitting area. Um, so yeah, once again, I use the island living cabinets, and I feel like I've said it before and I'll say it again, they work so well with this pack and they make me so happy. I fiddled with these stupid things for forever. I wanted so badly to have this be like a feature between the kitchen. I couldn't get them. They want to snap to like the surface of a wall instead of like in a wall, and I wanted them to look like an extension of the wall. So it wasn't right. I used this wall art, which I'm not sure I've ever used, for sure not in this pink swatch, but I thought that was fun. So I keep the living space like pretty neutral. I do end up putting like quite a few plants in this build, but I put quite a few plants in every build. I'm struggling a little bit like the bedrooms in here, I think end up kind of looking like every other build I do. Um Maybe I need to do some more challenges or something just to get me a little more out of my creative box, if you will. Um, I like the Sims that I ultimately end up creating. I don't show that in video, but like I do move Sims into all of these builds. Sometimes I have videos about it and sometimes I don't. I don't think I even recorded when I made the Sims that went in here. And like I do like this build for them, but I think I make this one aesthetic over and over again, and I've got to branch out. I also make this bathroom like with the university shower and then a half wall with this feature piece on top of the half wall, like in so many houses, but I actually think it works really well and I like it. And then I size down this sink just so that like your sim can for sure walk past there. I guess I say for sure like I play tested it, but I didn't play test it. But I've play tested this like arrangement in other builds and it's worked out, so I have confidence that this one will work as well. I believe I play test it on screen in my tiny living like micro home challenge build that's up on my channel if you're interested in seeing that. But it's pretty mundane. So these are really where like I think it's like my goal aesthetic. Like it's what I wish my aesthetic was, but it's like not what my aesthetic is, if that makes sense. Um, it's just very like soothing and calming and like blues and natural tones. You can tell I was watching a new show. This is why like okay, so I just started watching Schitt's Creek because somebody at work recommended it to me, which like great recommendation. It's fabulous, but like it's distracting because it's new. So I try to just rewatch stuff while I'm building because then I can listen to it in the background and not get so distracted by it. But I straight up love this bedroom. Like, it comes out so cute. I love the wood tones. I end up taking these lights down, although I do want to do a feature like light with those hexagonal. Are they hexagons? Right? They have six, I think. I don't know. But I do want to do some kind of feature with them at some point. But this build wasn't the space for it. And I think it almost needs to be like a modern or like a modern inspired room to make it work, although maybe not. But I didn't feel like it worked with this room. So then I wanted to fill the space a little more and I wasn't sure how. I really wanted these rugs to work, but I wanted the pink and the teal to be the colors that like stuck out the most, and I just couldn't make that happen. So I think I end up putting in a bluey color rug or this blue and red one. Yep. Yep, not surprising. And then I think I just add some plants, if I remember correctly. I recorded this yesterday, so who really knows? Like, your guess is as good as mine at this point. Yeah, I put in a plant, I think, down by the foot of the bed here. Yep. I don't hardly ever place this plant. I think the base swatch of it has blue in it, and that like for whatever reason deters me a little bit. So we end up going with a pink swatch on this bed. I kind of wish I would have gone with that purple swatch, but I wanted it to be very obvious like these are two roommates, right? Like it's not one person who like put together all these rooms, right? Like when you do a house, like you kind of imagine the adults in the house cohesively make the decisions throughout the house and like decorate. But when it's a roommate situation, like the living room's pretty bland. Like maybe they made some decisions together, but like some of the clutter looks like it belongs in the first room, while maybe the wall art belongs to the person in the second room, right? Like you can kind of see the combination of two. So then when you make the bedrooms, I like them to have distinct styles. Because they're distinct individuals living in these rooms. So with this one, I go with like a much more like peaches and pinks and like some nice soft pastels, a much more like subdued, pretty room. Not that the other one's not pretty, it is, but just this is a more like classical, pretty room. We give this sim an easel. I end up putting the guitar out in the living room, as you saw, because I wanted them to have some fun. Oh my goodness, I have hiccups. So, we're actually coming to the very end of this video. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I really enjoyed this build. It'll be going up in my perfect save. When I ever get that out, it'll probably be years. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!